Dating mistakes I wish I didn't make. Number 5, sending super long, emotional, and likely annoying messages. Oh my gosh, I have made some terrible mistakes when it comes to this one. Ooh, if I could take back some of those things that I've said, I would in an instant. I've said some pretty cringy things, and oh man. You guys know what I'm talking about. Sending like super long text messages talking about how upset you are. Basically listing all the ways in which this person screwed up. This type of behavior typically happens when you're on your monthly cycle or something and you're just feeling overloaded with all of these emotions, and it feels so real, but in reality when you're in this state, it's just everything is heightened. So I think the best place to communicate with a partner or somebody that you're dating is from a clear mind, just so that you don't say things that you regret down the line. Like, I've sent super long, very emotional messages to guys that I've dated, and I wish I hadn't. When my feelings take the best of me, I really can't control the things that I say sometimes, and I'm working on that. It's so important to have the awareness to be like, nope, this is something I probably shouldn't do. It's like when you drunk text somebody that you dated and aren't dating anymore. It's probably best if you don't do it. It's way better to talk in person. That way there's this back-to-back happening and there's no possible misunderstanding, because things can get misunderstood so fast and so easily when you're texting. Communication is so important. I wish that I communicated a little bit better. If they are being dishonest, that will come to light and the truth will always come out, and that's honestly been my experience. So now looking back, I wish that I could have enjoyed the relationship as opposed to worrying about all the bad things that might potentially happen. You know, just live and let live, relax, it's okay. If they're being dishonest, all of that stuff is gonna come out and the truth always prevails. So knowing that, I would definitely do things a little bit differently when it comes to my past relationships. I would have just enjoyed the moment and not let my worries and anxieties and fears get in the way. I would definitely have more control over that. If I knew better, might as well enjoy this time together with this human being that is beautiful despite their imperfections, just like you're beautiful despite your imperfections. Number 4, entertaining other guys to protect myself. I'm sure some of you guys can relate. It's disrespectful to this person that you're getting to know and instantly sabotages the relationship because the energy can be felt. This is like a coping mechanism that I think develops from unhealed past trauma in childhood, past relationships, or socialization. If you're not fully 100% with that person, 100% present, they will definitely feel that. And plus, if you're engaging in this type of behavior, it just goes to show that maybe you're not ready for a mature, committed relationship. This is something that I don't want to do anymore, which is why I put this on this list. I have done this in many of my past relationships. It was kind of like a defense mechanism for me. It was just a way for me to feel in control. Instead of looking to other people or other guys for validation, I think it's way more effective to just work on yourself and to improve yourself and to work with your uncomfortable feelings without needing validation from other people. It's unnecessary. I just think that it also like ultimately hurts you, because then you're gonna start to feel sneaky and maybe a little bit dirty because you're not fully respecting this person or yourself. Unless, of course, you are okay with this. Like, if you and this person that you're dating is okay with this. Number 3, spending way too long being affected by failed relationships. Basically 2.5 years to learn this lesson, and I wish it took me less, because I wasted so much time and energy overthinking and doubting myself and feeling bad when I could have been working on something else more productive. But at that moment, it's like you can't help it, right? There are tools and tricks to help this, to help you move out of a funk quicker, like meditation. And especially traveling to a new place that you haven't experienced before, especially by yourself as well, it helps you take your mind off of things. And again, it's about saving time and energy, because you only have a very limited amount of time, energy, and brain power in a day. If you want to succeed, I think that you have to get over these painful situations fast. 3 months at most for every heartbreak, separation, whatever. I think that's a good bit amount of time, actually. I definitely was not able to let go of the attachment to these people and what had happened in each situation as quickly as I would have liked, because I think I was holding on to the attachment and the pain, and there was some sick pleasure I was getting from it. I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I had just traveled more or spent more time taking my mind off of things and working on the things that I'm passionate about, as opposed to feeling sad, overthinking, looking at this person's social media, or just replaying the situation and events over and over in my head. I wish I would have spent my time more wisely, and that's definitely something that I've learned. I'm so not gonna let myself worry or feel bad about some person that doesn't even care about me, right? Doesn't even bother. And again, it's all about coming back to your divinity, right? Your divinity is always abundant and lets go of attachments peacefully and without hesitation, because your divinity knows that hanging on to things that are no longer serving you is just gonna hurt you some more. Downs are normal, but they're really meant to lead you to your rightful path. So if you're feeling down for way too long, it's because you've strayed for way too long. It's time to correct yourself and get back on the right track, which is, again, feeling good about yourself, loving yourself, living life with joy. These downs and the sorrow that you're feeling is good in order to help you grow, but when it becomes too much, then it's because you're indulging yourself in it. The reality is you have the control to make that switch really fast, and if I could do it all over again, I would get over people like this. And it's not to be like, oh, I'm so much better than you. It's just for my own good and for the other person's good, so I'm not sending crazy text messages. There's a quote that I really like. I think it goes along the lines of, the secret to happiness is to just be happy. That's literally it. And I think that that's actually very accurate, because all you have to do is switch your mindset. Be like, you know what, I'm done with feeling bad. I'm gonna just be grateful for the situation, what I've learned. I'm grateful that I'm alive. All of these things, albeit seemingly very simple, can have such a huge effect on how you feel. Especially changing your mind, changing your thoughts, and thinking more positively. Number 2, ignoring and not being aware of red flags. I will give a few examples on this one. I was on a late night stroll with, let's call him John, and he gets a phone call. He's like, blah 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 blah, I'm with a friend, blah blah blah, at the museum, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, I wonder who this is. Maybe it's a friend or his mom or something. And then he hangs up and he's like, that was my ex-girlfriend. So he basically answered his ex-girlfriend's call on our date. And not to mention, called me a friend to her, yet referred to her as his ex-girlfriend. So this completely like went over my head. I didn't even realize what just happened, and still I saw him after that. It like for some reason did not register that that's like a completely big red flag. Like he's still very much so connected to his ex-girlfriend, even though he was telling me like he liked me so much and blah blah blah. He wouldn't have done this if he really did. So this is a red flag that I completely ignored, and I wish I was more aware in that moment. My head was like in La La Land, I think. He was really the first person that I was dating for real. Everything else had been in high school, but now I was like dating this older person. So it was like my first real dating experience in the real world. How did that not register in my brain? I do not know. Example number 2 is with another guy that I dated. While he was taking like an Instagram story or something, I was in the background like minding my own business. We were skipping rocks on like a icy frozen lake, and it was making these cool sounds.
Perfect skipping rock right there. Here we go. Whoa!
And I didn't really know he was taking a video, and I was just like, oh my gosh, look at this thing, it's so cool. I was like basically in the background talking about something. He was like, why do you keep talking in my videos? Essentially telling me to shut up. Major red flag. I don't even know why that completely went over my head too. Like, but yet that didn't stop me from like caring about this person, and it should have. And mind you, he also didn't want to follow me on his page. He said that he didn't want to follow me for business reasons, but I just felt like it was because he was trying to appear single to everyone else. To all the models that were following him, and basically all the other girls that he was attracted to. He said, oh, it's my business Instagram, yet the people on here he would consider his friends, and at this point I was his girlfriend. So like, you don't follow your own girlfriend doesn't even make any sense. Like, he was the one that was calling me his girlfriend. He's the one that's saying I love you, yet he wouldn't follow me on his Instagram, and he told me essentially to shut up while taking an Instagram video. So obviously I was not really his girlfriend, nor did he really love me, because if you love someone, you're gonna be supportive of their expression, right? Their authentic, full expression. And this person did not want me to be speaking in the background of his videos. And even if he says it's because it's for business, yeah, right, you're taking a video of a lake, that's not really for business. Doesn't make any sense. Anyone who really cares about you is gonna follow you on his social media. He's gonna show you on his social media. He's gonna let everybody know that he's taken by you, that he cares about you. Maybe he's not gonna like post it all over social media or whatever, but he's definitely gonna follow you at the very least, and he's gonna make it known that he's taken. I should have been over this person the moment that the relationship ended, but for some reason I spent another year overthinking everything, feeling like I was the one in the wrong by ending things so abruptly and randomly, feeling like I was the one in the wrong for wanting an explanation, all of this stuff. If they're being disrespectful to you or anybody in any way, that's a huge red flag, and you should just like get out of there ASAP, because this person is not ready for you. This person is not ready to support you, to help you grow, to care about you. So yeah, why even waste your time on them? Definitely wish that I was paying more attention when it came to dating, because then I would have like saved myself so much time and energy. It would have saved me so much headaches. Yeah, that was a really big red flag that just like completely went over my head. That didn't even click to me as a red flag in that moment, and it didn't for a while. I'm like, afterwards when that ended, I'm like, duh, hello, that's not okay. That's a complete red flag. And there's other red flags that I obviously missed, but you know what a red flag is by how it makes you feel in that moment. You'll know what a red flag is based on your self-worth and how you feel like you should be treated. Number 1, not loving myself more. It kind of connects to number 2, right? Ignoring the red flags. Because if I loved myself, then I would know how I should be treated. Instead, I questioned myself. Instead, I blamed myself for things falling apart. Like, what was it that I was doing wrong? Was I not attractive enough? Was I not smart enough? I felt guilty about my shortcomings. I felt guilty about the things that I didn't know. I felt guilty that I wasn't perfect and I didn't have this perfect body. I felt guilty that I had imperfections. And I felt guilty that I had feelings that I wanted to speak out about. I shouldn't have been beating myself up, feeling like I wasn't good enough, I wasn't up to par with this person's standards, therefore it was all my fault. When in reality, I should have been looking at the situation like, this person's not up to my standards. You know, I should have stood up for myself and my value. I should have been more kinder to myself, and I wish I could have been kinder to myself. I definitely developed my self-love after those 2 years of wasting my time on these people that I shouldn't have wasted my time on, overthinking about and worrying too much about. I put someone else before me, someone who didn't deserve it at all.